Hello everyone, Guardian E here with an analysis and build guide video for Fire Emblem Heroes. Today taking a closer look at the lovely and long-awaited Aversa Dark One. So let's see how we can best utilize her strengths and assets to our advantage on the battlefield as the very first free mage FLIER in the game. Aversa hails from Fire Emblem Awakening. Dark and mysterious, she begins as a major antagonist, a high-ranking Plegian officer with a decidedly sultry aura for seducing and leading her targets to ruin. Throughout the course of the game, Aversa becomes recruitable when treacherous parts of her past that were previously hidden from her are brought to light. She is the only recruitable character that starts as a Dark FLIER class. In Fire Emblem Heroes, Aversa enters the stage as a Grand Hero unit, who can be obtained upon first clearing her special map Grand Hero Battle. She is said to use her charms to disarm and then destroy her foes. She packs a decent offensive stat line at 33 attack and 34 speed, with 17 defense, 24 resistance, and 42 HP rounding out the rest of her numbers. Most notably, Aversa sports extremely high HP for a mage, which works in tandem with her unique tome. She has no boons or banes and has a BST of 150, in line with most current ranged flyers. Next, let's take a closer look at what Aversa offers in terms of utility. Aversa comes armed with her very own legendary weapon, Aversa's Knight. This unique tome grants her 3 extra resistance, and further has a map-wide debuffing effect. As long as her foes are adjacent to each other and have less than or equal to 3 minus Aversa's HP, they get a -3 to all of their stats and Panic Ployed for good measure. This is a powerful mechanism by which to neuter certain team compositions that stick close together or units that rely on activated buffs like Blade Tomes. This makes her monstrous in Arena, or in game modes like Rival Domains where she can mass debuff the entire map regardless of positioning. However, the tome has limited usefulness against enemies with inflated stats, such as Abyssal difficulty maps. Aversa will never reach the HP threshold necessary to debuff those units. Also, given her high HP, respectable defensive stats, and above average speed to prevent doubles, she's very difficult for the enemy to one-shot, which allows her to safely enter skill activation ranges. Aversa is also a free unit. If you completed her Grand Hero Battle, she's already sitting in your barracks waiting to be built. This makes her an excellent choice for free-to-play players. Aversa is also a FLIER, and being a FLIER gives her access to FLIER buffs such as Hone, Fortify, Goad, and Ward, as well as incredible mobility on the battlefield to traverse forests, mountains, and waters alike unhindered. Aversa is not only a FLIER, but a Tome FLIER. These are incredibly valuable and rare units in the game. What's more, she is a Red Tome FLIER, of which there are only 3 other units in the game, 2 of which are seasonal with limited availability. Being a Grand Hero unit, Aversa enjoys completely neutral IVs, which means you never run the risk of having a damning Boon-Bane combination. Your Aversa will always have the best stat line she can. Plus, being a free Grand Hero Battle unit means that she can be merged easily and for free with the new Ether Raids mode by using Heroic Grails. This makes her a prime candidate for merges. That said, however, the fact that she's free and has neutral IVs also means you can't fish for powerful boons to her stat line. That said, let's take a deeper dive by comparing Aversa to her Flying Red Tome compatriots. Now bear in mind that these comparisons are based on the neutral stats of each respective character. The Boon-Bane system means that some of these units can fulfill different functions depending on which IVs you have on your FLIER. In comparing Aversa to neutral Halloween Noe, their stat lines are fairly comparable. Aversa's 8 extra HP gives her the equivalent bulk of the 6 lost defense and resistance, and she trades 1 attack for 2 speed. What this means is that between Aversa and Noe, Aversa is the slightly better Blade Tome user, as speed is generally the most important stat until you reach certain thresholds. Also, while Noe's native tome allows some additional mobility support for her comrades, this utility can be mimicked with seals and skills. Aversa provides overall map-wide debuffing support for her team, which is an overall more useful ability that can't be mimicked by any other substitute skills. However, Noe does natively enjoy Hone Flyers, which is a particularly rare and valuable skill for flyer teams. It's still sought after, even to this day, and finds its place largely on seasonal units. When comparing to Summer Tana, Aversa has 7 more HP, but suffers from 2 less speed, 3 less defense, and 1 less resistance. Now what this means is that Tana runs the better Blade Tome, having a native 2 additional speed without sacrificing any of the attack at neutral. Similar to Noe, Tana provides some additional mobility support to her team via her tome, but it's not something that can't be replaced with other skill combinations. Aversa's tome is really unique. When comparing Aversa to the newly released Adrift Camilla, Aversa has 6 more HP, 4 fewer attack, 4 more speed, the same defensive stat, but 6 fewer resistance. This translates into Aversa being arguably a better traditional Blade Tome user, as that 4 extra speed is going to be coming in handy for securing doubles, even with suboptimal flyer team configurations for buffing. At the same time, Camilla's native set allows her to be a consistently powerful, self-buffing anti-mage one-shotting threat, whereas Aversa's tome is suited to more of a supporting role overall on the back lines. So at this point, let's dig into some example builds for Aversa. First up, we have a budget build that utilizes most of Aversa's default kit. We've switched her special to Draconic Aura for more consistent procs. HP speed for her A slot in conjunction with HP res for her seal gives her enough of a boost to push her HP so that she can debuff even standard armors. Desperation for the B slot is a solid choice so that she becomes more of a threat once her HP tanks, but you could also opt to run something like Renewal on the B slot to make sure that her health stays topped off and she can continue to provide her map-wide debuff even after engagement. Odd Res Wave 3 is an excellent self-sufficient C-slot skill, and we've kept it on her for budget purposes, but this is a flexible slot that could be swapped out for Goad Flyers, for example, if you're running a flyer team. The purpose of this build is to capitalize on her native role in a team, staying safe and debuffing the entire map. The debuff itself is particularly potent in game modes like Rival Domains, where she can mass cripple an incoming swarm of enemies. The AI doesn't know how to split off or position themselves properly, so forcing the debuff is easy. She provides a great support role here, while still providing ample firepower when forced to and buffed properly. This type of build is also effective in Arena, where movement-based teams that rely on hones, fortifies, and tactic skills run rampant. And speaking of Arena, this build is an Aversa optimized for Arena scoring. For people out there that love Aversa and want to maximize her ability to improve your Arena score, this combination of skills provides the highest point value for her, while still making her useful in battle. This build is full of high SP cost skills, as well as the new Red Dual Flying skill. Aversa's Knight is a legendary tome, which provides the highest SP cost. Dual rallies are going to provide the biggest score boost, in addition to high-cost specials like Ether. Chill Speed provides map-wide debuff to a particularly speedy unit on the opposing team. Odd Res Wave provides her own buff and is a high SP cost skill that she comes with by default. Flyer Formation for the Seal simply enhances her support role and allows her to swoop in and out, support and pick off an opposing enemy, but you could also swap this out for Guidance, or any other equivalent movement-based skill, or even another stat-boosting skill if that would help enhance her role in your team. And while this build isn't going to be the most effective or deadly on the playing field, it is going to ensure the highest possible scoring at 710, while still allowing her to provide valuable support to the rest of your team. This build is really for the biggest fans of Aversa that really want to take her into Arena without sacrificing as much of the score as they can. And finally, we have the tried and true, the Rotterblade build. For those of you who haven't had the opportunity to feel the raw strength of a Blade Tome Flyer, this free Aversa is finally your chance. Love it or hate it, it is difficult to deny the effectiveness and overall destructive power of this build on a properly configured team. A single Hone Flyer's buff boosts Aversa's damage by a whopping 12, and will get her speed up to a considerable 43. Fury improves all of Aversa's stats and also lowers her health with each engagement, so that she can enter Desperation range. Another budget option is Darting Blow to give her some additional speed on player phase. Her res and HP are high enough where she's really not going to be getting one-shot in most scenarios, and she can trade blows to activate Desperation. Draconic Aura pairs extremely well with Blade Tomes, and it uses the Blade Tome boosted damage as a base for the multiplier. I'm personally a huge proponent of using Draconic Aura instead of something like Glimmer that really just enhances the damage that you're going to do already. With Blade Tomes, you're already doing obscene damage, but Draconic Aura affords your Blade Tome users to be able to win even heavily mismanaged and disadvantaged matchups. Odd Res Wave 3 is really just a universally strong skill, and it'll further boost her Blade Tome damage by an additional 6 on odd-numbered turns. Alternatively, Goat Flyers is always an excellent C-slot skill when running Fire Emblem. Her seal is flexible, but Flyer Formation or Guidance are great options for Flyer teams or mixed teams to provide enhanced mobility support. Other seals like Brazen Attack Res or Speed Plus 3 are excellent options as well. So, who works best with Aversa? Hinoka is a great pairing, as she not only has Hone Flyers, but also Hinoka's Spear allows for fun, teleporting shenanigans to get Aversa in proper range for debilitating the enemy. Wings of Fate Hinoka similarly provides interesting teleporting capabilities and also provides armor-effective damage. Armors are the opponents with the highest HP pools that might be able to avoid Aversa's map-wide debuff. New Year's Azura is also a natural pick, with her Sing allowing Aversa to reposition to safety after sniping an enemy, and also she comes with Hone Flyers, that valuable buffing skill. Along those lines, Bride Ninian can provide that move refresh support and be a valuable Flyer ally, all while providing that valuable color coverage. Additionally, as far as armor effective damage is concerned, Claire can be a great pick who also provides color coverage. Defense tanky greens like Spring Camilla offers protection against both archers and blue threats that can endanger Aversa. Coincidentally, Vala Camilla or Adrift Camilla is an excellent pairing with Aversa because the debuffing effect from her tome stacks with Aversa's, so despite them sharing a color, their skills work in tandem to cripple the enemy together. With her supporting role, Aversa is versatile enough to support and enhance any team, given the proper game modes. So wherever you decide to put her, or whoever you decide to pair her with, she'll excel. And so that concludes our build guide and analysis video for Dark One Aversa. I hope you found it somewhat helpful in formulating your own builds. Please let me know in the comments below how you're planning on building your Aversa. If you're interested in more Fire Emblem Heroes content, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel because it really does help us out. Thank you so much for watching, we really do appreciate each and every one of you, and until next time, let's protect those skies.